And we're back with another episode of NBA Observations. This is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for joining us. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Subscribe today to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air, or we upload the latest NBA Observations or our Lakers Fast Break post games. Talk about the Lakerholics on the weekend. Whole bunch of stuff that we bring to you. Snack packs. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff we bring to you, whether it's clips, whether it's shorts, whether it's our long form entertainment. We want to go ahead and make sure we got you covered right here at the Lakers Fast Break and NBA Observations as well. But it wouldn't be an NBA Observations without someone who is a really good observer out there. And you guys love him. You guys will always ask for him back. He is back once again. He's a good man indeed. I did say he would, if we could work something out on Thursday, we would go ahead and record an NBA Observations. You got to go ahead and check out what he's doing today at I Got Next Sports Media. It is a good man indeed. It is the legend himself. Legend, what's up, my friend?
What's good, Gerald? How about you, man? How you doing?
Doing okay. Slowly melting under the Las Vegas heat, but I just can't really complain too much because it's 20 more degrees, and that's about where the high will be for Las Vegas.
It's going to get hot here in Georgia. It's coming.
Oh, it's coming indeed. Absolutely. I heard this El Nino every year. Oh, El Nino means just a whole lot hotter. That's all I know about that. But I will say this. It is also getting El Nino in the NBA as it's getting hotter now, as we're getting close to the end of the season. So I wanted to get your thoughts on some of the other things going on. You know about the Lakers. We've talked about the Lakers every day, every night, seemingly. I talk about it on Lakers Latest. I talk about it on the post games. Such a tremendous job they're doing right now as they're trying to solidify third place in the Western Conference. They do have a matchup on Friday. Absolutely looking forward to seeing what's going to go and continue on there. But I want to go back a couple seasons ago. I want to go back to when the Lakers defeated the Golden State Warriors. I think you just started coming on shows with us and whatnot. And I said at that time, right there and then, when the Lakers defeated the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs, that window had closed. That was the Lakers or the NBA, for all intents and purposes, closing the window on the Warriors championship run, which again, they do get all the credit in the world and deserve all the credit in the world for having that sustainable run of effectiveness for so many years. Now, the next season, they actually did make a little bit of a run. They actually met Minnesota in the second round of the playoffs, and Steph Curry got injured, and that pretty much did them in there. So if you didn't think the Lakers shut that window, then Minnesota may have done that, because now we flash forward a year later, flash forward a season later, and right now it's not looking so great for your Warriors, my friend. The Warriors right now, they are in 10th place in the Western Conference. So they will have to go on the road twice in order just to qualify for the playoffs. So that is a very daunting task for them. And they don't even know for sure if they'll have Stephen Curry back from there. So your thoughts, my friend. You also have the devastating news that you saw. I'm sure you saw the highlights of it. Moses Moody going up for a breakaway slam dunk and tore meniscus, I think it is.
Meniscus.
Yeah. So just a tragic thing for a kid who, even at 23, 24, was about ready to go ahead and explore his options either with the Golden State Warriors or somewhere else, because he was getting close to the end of his contract as well. So with that, it's not good right now. And then, of course, the Porzingis, he's playing now, but for how long? And, of course, he's a free agent as well. You see, as far as Draymond Green, his skills have eroded before your very eyes, but his mouth certainly hasn't. So with that said, my friend, things aren't looking great in Golden State right now. What is the future of this team? Because I said it last night on the post game with you. I really think that they need to have a come to grips moment with Stephen Curry, and Stephen Curry loves the organization, no doubt about it. It's loyal to the end, and there's every real possibility, 99% that he stays there for the rest of his career. But if you're Mike Dunleavy Jr., do you sit down with him and say, "What do you want, Stephen Curry? Do you want to stay and be in probably mediocrity, even if we get Giannis? Giannis will not change the entire outlook of this team, even if we are able to get him. Do you want to go somewhere else, or do you want to stay a Warrior for life?"
What I think they need to do is they need to, once the season is over, because it will be over very, very soon in a couple of weeks, whether they make it through the play-in just to go probably get 4-0 by OKC or the Spurs, or losing the play-in. Either way, season will be over in another 3 weeks. Season be pretty much a wrap. They need to, as soon as the season ends, you need to put Steph Curry to the side and be like, we need to meet. We need to discuss the future, because it's something that needs to be done. They need to be handled before draft night even gets here. You need to sit down and just have that face-to-face talk on the current status of the team and the current status of the reality at this point. You just need to tell them straight up that, look, this ain't going nowhere. This is, at this point, a real rebuild time. It's time to start rebuilding, start retooling, and begin the process of moving into the new direction.
And what if he decides he wants to stay, though? What if he wants to stay a Warrior for life? Because, and Mike Dunleavy is forced to maybe give up his draft choices just to make them competitive. But right now, a Giannis, a LeBron, there's nothing that can really fix this right now.
Well, the best thing that can fix it is go through the building pain, go through the process of rebuilding. That is the best path going forward. Start retooling, go through the draft good, build up, take the OKC route, build up. What you need to sit down with Steph and ask him is, do you want to go where you can win, or do you just really want to be a Warrior for life? And if that's the case, are you sure that you're willing to be here through a rebuild? Because he has a lot of talent still left. He's good enough to go get him another ring. It just won't be there. And that's just the unfortunate reality. He has to accept the fact that you can go get Giannis. Would that make you better than what you are right now? Yeah, you'd be better. But would that make you championship better? Probably not. Probably not, unless you really pull some rabbits out your hat. Otherwise, this ain't gonna be it.
Because I know it was mentioned during the post game. I'm sorry, Legend, but it's mentioned during the post game that he's 38 years old. He's 30 years old. Well, let me tell you, before he got injured, what this 38-year-old was doing. 27 points a game on 39% shooting, which is a little down. 39% shooting from three, but 27 points a game, 5 assists. This guy, even at 38 years of age, can still fill it up. Now, the question is, with his latest injury, which is a runner's knee, which is based off the fact that he, all those years running through those screens, obviously his knee is telling him otherwise. So I don't know if he'll need any work done on his knees in the offseason. But if he decides to go ahead and finish out the rest of his contract, I don't see him falling far off. I mean, we see already an example with LeBron James where, yes, he is not the 27-point a game scorer each and every time out. There are days where it looks like Father Time is tapping on his shoulder, but there are other times where it looks like he goes and gives Father Time a body slam and looks incredible do it, like in Indiana yesterday. 23-9-9, if I remember correctly. So again, there are still major contributions he can make as a side player, as a Robin to someone's Batman. Just think of what he would do. I'm throwing this out there in Detroit alongside Kate Cunningham. Just think of what he would do alongside Luka. with the Lakers. I know that was a lot of people would argue about. I'm like, oh, well, the defense in that backcourt. Well, again, your alternative is Austin Reeves. That's
I mean, yeah, it's an
did he
upgrade to me, right? That
what,
big time.
what when did he become a stopper? So again, but it's semantics, as far as that's concerned. But again, you're talking about a team that could use like in Detroit. I talked about Detroit. I think Detroit is one marquee player away from being high up in that conversation. Could that player be a Curry?
It could be. He could be the missing piece. I mean, he can still give a lot. And I always said for the last maybe 2 or 3 years now, when Steph get more up in the age and he started to decline, the one thing that's not going to decline is that jump shot. That is going to always be there. That would be a heck of a good Robin to know the greatest 3-point shooter is right here beside me. Shoot the ball all you want. You don't get plenty of open looks. Right? Don't worry about it. You ain't got to run through all them screens no more. We got you. We will get you open. You'll get plenty of open shot with Cade, Luka. It don't matter. Joker don't matter. You can get open looks. You can get a lot of open looks. So he'll be a wonderful Robin. I think the days of making him be the Batman probably let that part go at this point. Him being the Batman days are probably over. But as a Robin, he'd be perfect at it. Robin or the third best player on the team. He'd be perfect for that role. But being the head person of a championship team, that's probably over. Because Draymond don't look the same either no more. You can tell Father Time is really knocking on his door. And it's just time for the franchise to accept the reality. And Steph got to do the same thing too. He gonna have to ask himself, do you be here with mediocrity or do you want to go somewhere and win? It's up to him. But that one thing I know for sure, Gerald, wherever he goes, if he leaves and goes somewhere else, I got my suitcase ready to let's ride.
There you go.
Let's ride.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So I don't know. Again, I don't mean to piss off any Golden State Warriors fans when I'm saying stuff like that because it's like, oh, Steph Curry, I really. But you have to have these
Yeah, you
conversations.
got to.
We were talking about this a couple of years ago with LeBron before he signed his contract. It's just, where do you see these great players finishing up their careers? And I mean, with KD in Houston, where it looked like it was a match made in heaven, it's based off of what they did, getting an integral piece in KD. I thought it was going to be the sky's the limit, and then we've seen that not really come to fruition there.
All them injuries.
Yeah, the injuries and whatnot, and there's no guarantees. But man, I mean, you put him alongside a team that has a 1-star type of deal, like in Cade Cunningham in Detroit. As again, I'm just going back to that because off the top of my head, I'm thinking, okay, 1-star, 1-star. Where am I talking about? Oh, yes, I'm talking about right there. Or you're talking about maybe put him in New York, put him with the Knicks. See how that works out alongside Brunson. Again, that's a terrible defensive team, but you would be shooting the lights out right there. What about a team like Orlando? If you moved on from Baines, yeah,
they definitely need some offense badly.
yeah. Or if you put him in a Toronto, now he probably wouldn't want to go to any of those locations. It would have to be somewhere like a Detroit, who's on a 50-win team already, who's in need of that kind of deal. So it would have to be to a team that's already like right there at the cusp of winning that. Or how about Minnesota to pair alongside Ant? You know what I'm saying?
It could work, and not gonna lie, joining Minnesota won't be bad, especially if definitely be in the Eastern Conference, an easier conference. So that wouldn't be a bad move to make. You got a young star, and that takes a lot of pressure off you. He's gonna draw a lot of attention, so that's a lot of wide open 3-point shots. Pretty much layups you're gonna be getting every single time. So that can really work out, very well going to the Minnesota T-Wolves. But I think it's about time. I think it's time for Steph and the Warriors to accept the reality and start having these conversations. And you got to start going to the future at some point. You got to start accepting this is how things need to go, because you can't stay being mediocre forever. You can't stay doing this. You gotta eventually move to the future. And hey, it's knocking on the door right now, telling you. Jimmy Butler up in the age, Draymond up in the age. Like it's over.
And with
It's over.
Jimmy Butler having an injury
At
out
that
until
age,
the first part, yeah, at his age of 35 plus, I just you just don't see it happening. And then they would have to move Butler's salary in a Giannis Antetokounmpo's deal, and
I
you
know they
know,
don't want him.
yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo coming to Golden State if he did, because we were talking about this at the trade deadline. If
Mm-hmm.
you move for number ones for him, you're giving up quite a bit for Giannis. Who same thing with the
Injury prone
Lakers.
then.
Is it something you want to do at right now from what you've seen? He is 33 or going on to 33. He's getting it. He's been injured quite a bit. I don't know. It just seems like at this point, there's a lot of things we have to discuss, but I'm just throwing it out there, my friend. I'm not trying to piss anybody off and saying, "Oh, it'll never happen." Whatever. But we thought the Luca trade would never happen, and it happened. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting anything past. And again, it might not just be for what's best for you, Steph Curry. It might also be because Steph Curry realizes what's best for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Like, if I'm Steph, I love Golden State. Hey, I wouldn't maybe don't want to leave, but it just helped the franchise go in a better direction. You know, it's okay to have to move on. One thing for sure, I don't think nobody in San Francisco, the Bay Area, anywhere gonna be mad if he leaves. Everyone will be always loving him no matter where he goes. You'll go to State Warrior for life. You are sealed. You got nothing to worry about. You're proving everything. You brought all these rings that who knows gonna be how long it may be to see another ring come to that franchise. You did all that. You have nothing else left to prove. Go where you want to go. I think anybody in that area will still support him no matter where he go. That jersey's gonna be in the Raptors no matter what. He's good. I couldn't imagine no Warriors fan being mad if he left. I think anybody will understand looking at the situation.
Yeah. And by the way, Giannis is 31. So just wanted to make sure that everybody knows.
He don't look like the way he getting hurt.
Yeah, he's just looks like the years and the mileage is starting to wear a little thin. But again, you're going to hear those rumors of where's Giannis going to go, whether it's the Lakers, Warriors, or somewhere else. Obviously, it'll be a great point of discussion going forward. But you guys, I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Let us know if it is time for Stephen Curry to maybe think about moving on from the Warriors. Maybe because again, Warriors will just tell him whatever you want to do is fine. But if they ask Stephen Curry, asks with the Warriors, what do you think is best? I think it's just you can say you can try and patch things up and fix it and make you guys more competitive, but the reality is, I think they're just too far away. Legend.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this team is just they're too set far back right now. This team is just ain't it. This is a real situation. You are basically in the situation of I wouldn't say Indiana, but more like Brooklyn Nets and all them refiguring things out. You got to figure things out right now, and Steph need to do what's best for him. And that's why I kind of understand that maybe the franchise do want to move on from Steve Kerr. He haven't been that great when it comes to working with young players, so not for sure he the right coach to go in that rebuilding mode with. You might want to find a coach who can handle dealing with these young guys and building them up, and let Steve Kerr go to a place with more veterans that more his speed.
We'll see, my friend. But again, I think it's just these are hard questions that I think need to be asked on a personal level. So,
Need to be answered for draft night.
yeah, and they need to be answered before draft night, like you said exactly. So, if you guys have thoughts on it as well, please let me know right here down below, and also go. I'll make sure if you have any questions for Levin, excuse me, have any questions for Legend, I will go ahead and make sure I
Ask
will get
away,
it.
guys.
Yeah, ask away indeed, absolutely. So, again, it is NBA Observations. It is Legend along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. We truly appreciate it. One of the teams I wanted to talk to you about, Legend, everybody was making a big deal that Luka Doncic was the Western Conference Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row, but they not really much of an uproar or an interest in who was the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and that was surprise, surprise, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets, who have won 5 games in a row. They just went into MSG and they slapped around the Knicks a little bit and got the
Mhm.
victory. So, my friend, I will just ask you this. LaMelo Ball went from a 29, 30-point player, all about him, taking three-pointers with 22 seconds left on the shot clock, with no one underneath in the basket. He would go and make poor choices, selfish choices, and made it all about him, not playing anything resembling defense. This has completely changed because the dynamic of this team has changed. The influx of rookies, but the influx mainly of and brought in as far as the health of the team, especially in the second half of the season, especially actually after 2026 has started. This Charlotte
Mhm.
team has really been one of the best teams in basketball. And right now, as we speak, they are tied for eighth place with the Orlando Magic. We talked about this, Legend.
That
Your Atlanta
disappointing.
Hawks are in fifth place in the Eastern Conference. But if they don't look too back too far, they could find Charlotte right down their necks. They're 2 games behind the Atlanta Hawks right now. My friend, Charlotte has been on a high for quite some time since 2020. They've completely turned around their season from being an afterthought and a team destined for lottery to a team that now maybe some of these teams don't want to play in the playoffs. Com Knipple has been incredible. Miles Bridges has been solid. They found a center rotation mix with 2 young centers that are willing to give their all. Your thoughts, my friend? This has really been a great success story. Brandon Miller has come in as a back as a from injury and been a really solid number 3 for them. Your thoughts, my friend? And they actually got Kobe White. Uh, Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White have been playing extremely well. I do not understand why more teams weren't interested in those 2 guys. Ayo Dosunmu has been
Mhm.
playing great for Minnesota, and Kobe White has been playing great for the Charlotte Hornets. Your thoughts, my friend? Charlotte Hornets are a team that right now 5 games above 500 and are looking like a team that might actually not need to stay in the play-in too much longer.
Yeah, this team turned their season around. I mean, look at them. Just on my TV, they beat the New York Knicks. I mean, they've
Not
been
at
playing
it was not at
stuff
MSG, by the way. It was actually at Charlotte.
in
My
Charlotte though.
fault. Yes.
But still, that's a good win against a top ranking team in the East. They turned their season around. To me, whoever decided to draft that kid, get that man a raise. He did a good job scouting right there. He did a really good job. That was a heck of a pickup. LaMelo Ball turned things around on his end. He had a little bit of a rough season, a rough start, but man, you got to give him praise. He turned things around, playing better defense. He bought in more into the team, into his role, and everyone else that just stepped up as well. Brandon Miller, everyone just stepped up. You just got to give these guys credit. But man, this Charlotte Hornets team has been really special to watch. We've been watching this team be absolute dumpster fire for so long, and now it just feels so weird to talk positive about this franchise. We so used to crapping on this team left and right, and now they in the winning category. I'm like, that's odd. That's just odd to be able to be doing that now. So got to give them a shout out. New Orleans Pelicans. This is what y'all need to do. This is what y'all need to do instead of giving away your draft picks, which I thank you for that, but doing stupid things. Charlotte have done a lot of great things, and you just gotta applaud the players, the coaching staff, the front office all the way up. They all have done a tremendous job. I would say, Gerald, no matter what happened in this playoff run for them, losing the first round or whatever, they had a heck of a good season. They just need to build upon it. Do the same thing next year and make the playoff without being in the play-in. Continue to make that leap. Keep making strides moving forward. They on the right path.
They are on the right path, my friend, and as long as they stay healthy, again, I see them maybe making a first round challenge for a team out there
Yeah.
at this current rate, but I don't see them getting much higher now. But if they get some more help in the offseason, and they can really put some things together and be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference, That would not surprise me. And I know we talked about Indiana. How far back up will they get with Tyrese Halliburton next year and possibly a top draft pick alongside that? How
Even
far
better.
can that team come back? How far, how good is the future for Charlotte Hornets? I mean, we're talking about a team here who was an afterthought, who is now playing like one of the hottest teams in the NBA and has actually one of the best teams in 2026. And they still have a team that has not one, but two picks in the first round as well. No one's talking about that. They're talking about
Mhm.
OKC having two picks. They're talking about New Orleans and Atlanta. They're talking about
Could
the
be the next OKC.
possibilities. Yeah, they're talking about the possibilities of other teams losing their first round picks. And here is Charlotte under the radar that can pick two guys right there at 14. Right now, it would be 14th and 17th, my friend.
You're right, Gerald. A lot of people are not talking about Charlotte Hornets. A lot of people sleeping on. A lot of people don't realize this Charlotte Hornet team could turn into an Oklahoma situation where they continue to draft right, build through the draft, and here they come out of nowhere, start winning 40-some games. Then you get the 50-something game, and boom, you winning 60-something game. It could
Yep.
easily turn around. It's hard to say. They could be 2 or 3 years from now. Could be in the top of the East. Could be in the top three. Who knows? A lot of people are sleeping on them. I mean, I literally heard Nick Wright the other day talking about, the Hornets ain't nothing special about. Take his NBA credentials away. Tell he ain't watching games. But this team is doing something special. A lot of people overlooking it. If I'm the East, watch out, man. This team can really could be one of them teams that can cause an upset in round one. And to me, if I'm them, if I had to pick who I want to play in round one, I might would want Detroit, knowing that they is missing their best player right now. So that's a weakness, That's a vulnerability right there.
It is, but I really think that the future is bright for Charlotte, and it's being well run right now. And obviously, they put things together, which is great to see. I love to see that, yeah, that rags to riches story that within the confines of a season, and like we've seen in Charlotte, I know that the Clippers at one time were in that same realm, and they're still
Mm-hmm.
right around 500 themselves after starting the season like really really bad.
6 and
But
21.
yeah, exactly. So Charlotte, again, a great story, but we'll see how it plays itself out. Right now, they are tied for eighth place in the Eastern Conference, but they have got so much momentum. They've won five in a row as of this recording, and Toronto and Atlanta are only a game and a half and two games away. So again, at this rate, who knows what it'll be? And there's still a few games left. There's still time for the Eastern Conference to shake up even more, indeed. But before we hand it out, my friend, I wanted to ask you about one last team, a team that was in the spot recently that the Lakers were in, sixth place in the Western Conference, but they have started to pick it up. Jamal Murray got a 53 spot the other day. Jokic is still getting his video game numbers. He almost got a 20, 20, 20.
Good
Let me
God
say that to
Almighty.
everyone. He was one assist away from getting a 20, 20, 20. I just want to make sure that everybody.
Whoever didn't make that shot, come on, man.
Exactly, exactly. So we and a lot of other people discounted the Denver Nuggets quite early. And again, winners of four in a row. They're now somewhat healthy now. They've got Percy back into the lineup after having the hamstring issues. They've got Aaron Gordon back to some extent as well. They're finally starting to get a little healthy heading back into the playoffs. How tough a matchup do you think they'll be come postseason?
That's a dangerous team to get in the first round. If I am anyone, which if they only like three places they will be at, 4 or 5 or 6, you do not want to play them in round one. That is probably gonna be a long series and can be very dangerous. This team can still win a championship. They still could do it. When you have Joker, you always got a chance. Just like if you got Luca, you always got a chance. You got SGA, always got a chance. Wimby, always got a chance. You can't underestimate that Nuggets team. If I'm remembering right, Nuggets had one of the best offensive game in the league right now. One of the best. High scoring. They can get hot from that 3-point range with no problem. With Tim Hardaway, we seen Aaron Gordon jump shot how far that jump shot has come over the years. Jamal Murray, we all know how he is. Yeah, he had that stinker when he was in LA, but that's not gonna happen too often. He's gonna show up just like he did this past game. This is a dangerous team that you just can't underestimate going into the playoff. If Oklahoma hold on to number one, they handle their business, you most likely will play Denver. That's a series that can go either way. We saw what happened last year when they played Oklahoma. That was a 7-game series. If they would have slid to the six, I'm going to speak for a lot of Laker fans. Some people probably ain't going to admit it. You do not want to play them. That is a long series. That's probably 6 or 7 games. I would avoid that series for my life. I'm like on my knees begging, give me Minnesota or Houston Rocket. I don't want them. Let Minnesota have fun with them. That's the team I will try to avoid.
I just don't want to match up against Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in the 7-game
Yeah.
series if I don't have to. Because
You know
as
how
we've
Murray is
seen,
against the Lakers.
well, the reason why Murray was the greatest player to never make an all-star team except for this season until this season was because he had played so well postseason. He was uh, always willing to rise up his game when it mattered the most in the postseason, or at least more times than not. He's played really well. It was so weird the other day because someone mentioned that Donovan Mitchell wasn't a good postseason. But I'm like, have you seen his
Have you
numbers?
not seen him? His
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah, his numbers got better in many ways during the course of the postseason. I mean, he's dropped 50 notes in the postseason. But okay, all right, be that man. I'm getting back to Denver. They are going to be a tough out, in my opinion. I don't know if they have enough to do what they need to do over an OKC, a Spurs, or even a Lakers team. But again, with a 7-game series, as the Lakers have experienced already on multiple occasions this decade, facing off against a Jokic and a Murray and a Gordon for a 7-game series is not the most pleasant thing to do.
It can go either way. I mean, like I said, that Oklahoma series last year, that was a back and forth battle. I mean, anything can happen. One thing I tell people when going against that Nuggets team, if they on the road, Joker gonna get one of them games. He's not gonna come in your house and not get nothing. He's gonna get one of them games. And then you gotta go back to his house and do the same thing, which is why I say this is a 6 or 7-game series. It's gonna be a long battle. Him and Murray gonna get one of them games. They're not gonna let you sweep them or beat them in 5. That's not gonna happen. You finna have to fight in this series, and it's just hard to contain that dude. 20 and 2, it's no telling what he may drop on you that night. So it just, if you can avoid playing them, avoid playing them. I wouldn't want that headache, but with the way now that Oklahoma lost last night, who knows what's gonna be 1 and 2 no more now, because Oklahoma's schedule is rough, and they could be number 2. Who knows? Spurs going to be in number 1, and maybe OKC gonna be like, ain't got to deal with them, I guess. So maybe we get something out of this. But we'll see how they play out. If I wouldn't want to play them, I would like to dodge them if I can.
I hear you, my friend. So let me hear your thoughts down below. If you think Denver is still a tough out for any team facing off against them in the postseason, love to hear your thoughts. They have won their last 4. They're a game and a half behind the Los Angeles Lakers as we speak right now, 2.5 games if you include the tiebreakers. So the Lakers keep on winning. It should be that the Denver's side of the playoffs, or the Denver side of the bracketing, will have them face off against OKC in the second round. And the Lakers wouldn't have to worry about Denver until the championship round, which is just fine by me. Just fine. Just fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we'll be worn out by then. Who knows?
Unless OKC loses that 2-game lead over the next 9 to 10 games and they end up being in second place to San Antonio. That would be interesting. Jokic versus Wemby in a 7-game series.
Ooh, boy. That's gonna
Mm,
be that's gonna be much. What? That's a 6 or 7 game. That might be 7 games for sure.
absolutely. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about Denver and their chances. Again, I'm not discounting them. Again, they were at where the Lakers were at just before them, and life had not been too kind, and they had fallen down to sixth place, and now they're rising up just like the Lakers rose up from that area. So if you have thoughts on the Denver Nuggets, please let us know right here down below. But before we head on out, Legend, you got to go ahead and give me the 411 on what's going on at I Got Next Sports Media.
We are definitely gonna talk about what in the world is going on in Houston after like what happened last night, where you was up 108 to like 90 something in Minnesota and just don't score another basket for the next 3 something minutes and just collapse. So we're gonna definitely talk about the disaster that's going on in Houston, and we will discuss more about this MVP race that is going on right now. Looking like it, I don't know what's going to happen no more, but it's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting to see what's going to go on with that. But yes, I do want to say that again for our March Madness brackets. For now, I have a shaky lead over both you and Boozemian Rhapsody, and you. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, if Duke pulls it out, you could be on top, my friend. You could be on top indeed. So we'll see.
I'd be
Um,
surprised they do, honestly.
We'll see what happens, my friend. But is of course Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Please go ahead and check him out, like and subscribe, and hopefully he'll get the chance to stop on by after the Lakers on Friday night face off against the Brooklyn Nets. We'll go
Easy
ahead and have the
win.
post game. Yeah, woo, should be an easy one. Should be.
Keyword easy.
Should be. That's what we said in going into Indiana. Should be. Should be. 29 points ahead. Should be. Should be. We'll just kind of let it get closer than we thought it should. But and again, it is of course the Lakers Fast Break Legends here. I Got Next Sports Media. Please go ahead and support today with a like and subscribe. Indeed. Well, Legend, it's always great to catch up to you when we talk not just about the Lakers, not just talk about your Warriors or your Hawks, but about the NBA in general. But any last thoughts, my friend, before we head on out?
I would just say, guys, if you really haven't been watching them Charlotte Hornets, check them out. Check them out. They are very interesting to watch. And lastly, whatever happened with this MVP voting, don't lose your marbles about it, man. It is all about the narratives, and that's what it matters when it comes to this MVP stuff, man. That really dictates everything.
It's just hard for, I understand Luka's been playing well. Luka's been playing at an MVP level. I get it. I understand it, guys. But OKC and San Antonio have been there all season long. It's just these guys will trend to vote that way. It's just that simple. So don't be surprised if it goes that way because no matter how much of a late run Luka's had, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be hard to overcome the guys at the top of the food chain right now in the Western Conference, indeed. But Legend, it's been great to have you here. Looking forward to our conversations, hopefully tomorrow night on the post game. And next time, we're back on right here at NBA Observations.